Time for some North Carolina gardening. Y'all ready? Alright, let's check it out. Let's see what we got going on out here. Oh man, look at all these blueberries. Blueberries are looking good. Way to go, Daddy. Planted these herbs last year. Some oregano, some thyme, some lavender. Looking good. You can grow those in a container. My dad's planting some cover crops, some crimson clover. First thing we're going to do is take that out. We're going to clip it at the soil level and leave in those roots, which have nitrogen fixing nodules that have formed. And then we're going to add some compost and fertilizer, and that'll be ready for planting. What you got there? Not for hair cutting, okay. My dad's always been a traditional row planting type of gardener, but I think he liked my raised beds. I was here last year and he wanted to build some. He's used a lot of manure compost over the years, and basically we just reformed everything, constructed the raised beds and filled them up with that soil. How you reckon we did?
I like it very much. Be a good garden.
We'll plant some seeds now.
Why don't we plant some seeds now?
I think we ought to plant some seeds.
Okay.
What do you say we plant some okra?
I think we should plant some okra and soak seeds first.
Alright, so I think that's what we'll do. We'll plant some okra seeds.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Alright, I like to soak my okra seeds in hydrogen peroxide prior to planting for about 20 to 30 minutes. That's real good at speeding up the germination. You can also soak them overnight in some water, at least 12 hours. That'll soften them up. Otherwise, they just take a long time to germinate. Our okra seeds are done soaking in the hydrogen peroxide. I'm going to pour them on the strainer here. And now I'm going to rinse them with some fresh water. Rinse off the rest of that hydrogen peroxide. Okay, should be ready for planting. What I'm trying to capture here is just, some of my roots in gardening. I'm always inspired to be here and to spend some time with my family. My dad's always got something growing, and he's one of those people who's just always in motion, always digging. He grows a lot of, bulbing perennials and things that spread and multiply, and he'll just dig them up, transplant them, and all of a sudden, instead of having one, he's got 5, and he'll give some away, he'll trade some. So that's the type of energy and the type of gardening practice that's inspired me and really got me moving forward, trying to understand how I can influence others and share with others, some of my experience, because I think gardening is real important for us spiritually, mentally, physically. Life can be real busy, real hectic for a lot of us, but something that brings you down to the earth. And I think it's very enriching, very calming, very grounding. You're always going to see some bugs or some birds or who knows what when you're looking down at the ground or planting something or digging. And growing your own food, can't beat that. People talk about it a lot these days. You get the best food, the healthiest food, the tastiest food, the food that's most free of pesticides, contaminants, when you grow at home and you carefully take into consideration the things that you're putting into your soil. And I think it also makes you respect farmers and growers and greenhouses and people who really make a living off of this industry. It gives you some insight into what goes into that. So that's a good thing. In this bed right here, I planted okra seeds every 12 inches. I got 8 of those in there. Alright, this is going to be real tight. Hopefully produce a lot of pole beans, the Kentucky Wonder pole bean. Got 40 of those in there. This 2x8 raised bed right here, I've seeded 2 varieties of squash. There's 18 radish seeds planted, and I think that's about 48 beets. Alright, this bed right here got some southern peas the big red rippers. Planted a bunch of seeds up in this garden. Got to keep those seed beds evenly moist until things sprout. I like to take several passes and lightly water them for even saturation through the soil. And probably in the next week, gonna see some things sprouting. My best bet is the radishes will be the first thing to sprout. Here's some of our haul from the Piedmont Triad Farmers Market. We're looking for them black cherry and sun gold tomatoes. Got a sweet 100. We got some green zebra, Amana orange, sun gold. My daddy planted these tomatoes. Got those going before I got here. Some big slicers, some Celebrity, some German Johnson. These are the tomato plants that we picked up at the Piedmont Triad Farmers Market. All right here, a couple of pepper plants that my daddy got going before I came into town. I came in and planted a couple of eggplant here, 1 per square foot. Real nice. He's got some Monarda that he divided, and he's got about 5 of these in the garden. That's going to attract lots of beneficial insects. I really enjoy coming up here every year, catching up with my mom and dad, talking about gardening. We do a lot of potted plants on the deck up there, and we'll get some flowers going. My mom really loves begonias. It's a real pleasure to be able to come up here and plant a second garden. You know, having a garden in 2 states, that's pretty exciting. I realize it's my parents' garden, but, you know, they let me plant it. We talk about what they're going to plant, what they want to grow. I also think it's cool, too. You know, you just get a different flavor, different perspective on what your raised bed garden can look like, depending on your space, depending on your resources. It can be as grand and as elaborate as you want it to be. It can be as modest and humble as you want it to be. There's no right or wrong. It's just gardening. Everybody's got their own unique signature way that they can garden, and that's their right. What's wrong with that? Just trying to get some food. I just wanted to say, I realize not everyone has the luxury of getting 2 gardens growing like I do in Texas and in North Carolina. But, you know, that's one of the things you can do with your family. Maybe you won't be there long enough to see it through, but you can get it started. You can keep tabs on it. You can take some pride in it. And either way, it's a new beginning. It's a fun thing to do. It's a good thing to do with your family. And hopefully, you providing some nourishment for them. So anyways, I hope you're thinking about growing a garden wherever you are. Even if you're not going to be there long term, just get it growing. What's your favorite vegetable?
Tomatoes.
What's your favorite vegetable?
Cabbage.
Cabbage?
Cabbage.
We ain't never grown cabbage here.
Well, I'm sorry.
What's your favorite vegetable that we've grown in the vegetable garden back here?
Zucchini.
Zucchini.
Green beans.
Green beans. They're just the biggest doggone hornets out here.